Hello, everyone. Dr. Melissa Tranquille here. How are you doing today? A special welcome to you. If you're joining me live, come in and say hello. Where you joining me from? Let me just start by welcoming the newcomers in our group to Coaches Rising Up. I'm so glad that you're here with us. In this community, I focus on helping coaches to build their coaching business so they can have a more consistent revenue. And we talk about everything to do with lead generation, traffic, building your email list, setting up your coaching business, mistakes to avoid, lessons I've learned. I mean, we talk about all sorts of things to help you to grow your coaching business and avoid some of the common mistakes out there. And that really brings me to my live as we close the week. Three top mistakes to avoid in your coaching business. I just thought I'd hop on and talk about that today, especially my eyes on social media during the week. Some of the things that I saw on social media during the week caught my attention, and I thought, well, let me just come on and share it with the community. And let me just start with the first one. One of the top mistakes to avoid, and whether you're a coach or you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, it applies to you as well. One of the top mistakes to avoid, especially if you're new and you're now starting off in your business, is to not do the inner work. And I put this one at the top of the list. And that's a lesson that I have learned myself. I remember a couple of years ago when I started my business, I actually started my business off the back of concluding my academic study. So I had just finished my doctoral program and had my fourth child. He was a baby then, and then I realized that I didn't want to go back into the 9 to 5. I wanted to work from home. I wanted that freedom of time and freedom to be with my family, to be with my kids. It's very important to me, and for those of you who follow me live, you know that's a core value of mine that I talk about all the time. And because of this, that was one of my driving factors to wanting to start my own business. But I jumped into it. I jumped on the wagon and started my business and never really took the time to do the inner work. As a matter of fact, I didn't even consider or think about inner work, especially when you're coming out from being an employee and now jumping into an employer. Until then it hits you at some point in your journey. How many of you can relate to this? How many of you can relate to this? I mean, if you're being honest, that when you just started in your business, that you haven't been an entrepreneur before and you just launched into it, never even thought about the inner work. Your mind is on your calling, your mind is on your purpose, your mind is on finding the right purpose, the right niche, and how you're going to set it all up and what you've got to do until some point in your journey, whether it's 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, some persons a year or 2 years. There's this coach that I follow, and he's doing pretty well. He's making millions in his business. And he shared that it took him 2 years actually before he actually started doing the inner work. He always downplayed it, never thought it was important. And it took him 2 years to actually start doing the inner work and then started making an income in his business. So I just wanted to hop on and just might serve as a gentle reminder to some of you that you've got to do the inner work. You've got to find the time to do that inner work. Make that time daily. And that's one of the changes that I have made in my business. I have been doing that inner work, making time for my daily meditation, etc. But one of the changes I made this week is actually scheduling time, and I'll talk about that next week in one of my lives. Scheduling time for my training and development, specifically, not just my creative appointment that I keep during the day to do my meditation and my affirmations, but to really scheduling that time to whether you have to follow up on any training you have, any program, and actually engage in the tasks that involve that inner work. But you've got to make that time to do your inner work. And if you are a new coach watching me live, this is not something that you've been doing, then but you have been feeling at times demotivated, stressed, overwhelmed, worried, concerned, that maybe it's time to start that inner work. And even if you're a seasoned coach, it's not something that you do and you stop. You've got to be consistent with it because it makes a whole difference. It makes a whole difference in your attitude, in your energy, in the outcome and the results that you're going to get in your business. So don't downplay it. Now, the next one I want to talk about is the mistake to avoid. Don't make impulsive decisions. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups, and there's a particular group, and she's wonderful. And she has perhaps maybe close to 200,000 members in her group, over 100,000 members in her group. and she's really, really wonderful. But one of the things I notice a lot in social media, and I'm sure you can attest to that, is there's a lot of the shiny objects around, and a lot of the fluffy promises. And she was delivering a wonderful training, but at the end of the training, she was saying that she's making her money without ads. And a lot of people, especially if you're a new coach and you're watching her training, and you might get that impulse to immediately join her course without asking yourself, weighing your decision properly, is that she's running her business without ads. But if you have a group of 100 to 200,000 members, you don't even need to run ads, right? You may not even need to run ads. So sometimes, if you're making an impulsive decision thinking that, okay, I want to get where she is, not recognizing that her context is totally different from you as a coach. You may not have an audience as large as she has. You may not have access to the resources that she has. So don't rush out there and just make impulsive decisions. Don't rush out there and the next best shiny object that you just rush and get it, and it doesn't get you the results that you're after. And this is something I'm talking about. That it's a discussion I've had with people who, not just people who work with me, but people who, when they come onto my discovery calls, I remember not too long ago, I had two discovery calls back to back, and both of them talked about courses, programs that they had joined. And I won't mention any names. One of them from a coach, very popular coach on LinkedIn, and they paid for her program and didn't get the results. And I'm not here to bash anyone, because we all have our calling and we all are amazing and have things to contribute. I'm just here to advise. I'm just here to caution, right? Because I even fell into the shiny object trap as well. So I'm just here to caution that don't just rush and make impulsive decisions for your business. You need to evaluate, is this what I need in my business right now? Is this the problem that I'm having right now in my business? You might tend to think that I have a problem to get clients in your business, but your problem is not getting clients. Your problem may just be your message. Your problem is that you haven't done the ideal client work. You haven't created that profile and really thought about your ideal clients and put the work into it to determine what your client really needs. Your problem might be your mindset. When you're thinking, okay, I can't get clients, I'm struggling to get clients, but your problem really is your mindset, because day by day in, day out, you've been having the wrong mindset. You've been speaking a lot of negative things upon your life, upon yourself, upon your business. You've been listening to that critic continuously in you, that you're not good enough, that you're not smart, that you're not a successful business person, that you can never make it. And you're putting all these blocks in your way. It's going to be hard to get the clients that you're after. So, my next caution for you is to don't make impulsive decisions. And the last one I want to talk about is to make that mental shift from the employee to the employer mindset, right? So when you become a business owner, you become an entrepreneur, you will find yourself struggling if you're unable to make that shift. I went through that struggle myself, because throughout the time I worked as an employee, I worked at the managerial level, had really great jobs, and now I found myself working for myself. And you have to make that shift in your mind that you're no longer an employee. It's time to think outside the box. It's time to get creative. It's time to take risk. It's time to recognize when you need support. So I had to hire a coach. You've got to make that shift from the employee to the employer mindset. And this is very, very important. It's one of the mistakes that a lot of new coaches make. And sometimes if you find yourself struggling with mindset, sometimes you're not struggling with mindset because of the limiting beliefs. Well, I'm struggling with my mind because of the limiting beliefs I have, is not always the case. Sometimes you need to ask yourself certain questions. Sometimes you might be struggling with your mindset in your business because you haven't made that shift. You haven't made that shift from the employee to the employer mindset. You haven't made that shift that you no longer have to work 30 days to get paid, but that you can get paid any day, and every day in that month is a potential payday. You haven't made that shift that the time has come for now for you to take responsibility for every decision, for every outcome, for every result. The time has come now for you to recognize and watch the habits that you have, and evaluate your habits and see those that are serving you and those that are not serving you. You've got to make the shift from an employee to an employer mindset if you want to succeed in your business, right? You've got to make that shift. It's absolutely important. And when you've done so, then you find you'll be able to rise up every day and work in your business with confidence, right? With confidence, with motivation, with assertiveness and assurance, knowing that it's going to work out for you. So I want to leave you with that for the weekend. And I want you to think upon these three top mistakes. And if there's anyone that applied to you, see what you can do right now so you can make that change in your business. For those of you who are new to the group, a special welcome. I do have a free training, Get High Ticket Clients. I'm going to pop that in the link below the video. I'll even pop it in the welcome message. I'll try to do that before I shut down because I normally work half days on a Friday. So I'm going to sign off very soon. But I want to wish you guys a wonderful weekend and I'll see you again next week. Of course, I'll pop into the group over the weekend, but definitely you'll see me again live next week. Bye for now.